wishing you well wherever you are in time and space. I am walking around Da Nang. This will be one of my last few days here. I will head to Saigon soon for a few days. Check that city out. I've never been down that way. I've only been up to Hanoi, so it'll be my first time really in the south. I'm gonna go up to Cambodia after that for the first time. But just taking in the last few days of this place I've been lucky enough to call home. I'm assuming Saigon's gonna be quite an adjustment coming from a smaller city here in Da Nang, but we'll see. I'm excited. It'll be some new territory for me. I think one good thing to keep in mind if you're planning on moving to Da Nang is that it is a mid to smaller size city. So after spending 2 months pretty much straight here in Da Nang, I've realized that it's a bit smaller. You will run into the same people over and over again, and you'll see you know, once you've been here for a minute, it kind of becomes its own little village, but that can be good too. Just depends what you're looking for. But as far as the community, I've been able to connect with a pretty eclectic group of people from all over the world. I had a men's basketball meetup group where we'd go play twice a week. There's a conscious community here in Da Nang. I mean, now with Facebook and all of the social media groups, you can pretty much connect with whoever you're looking for. Also, Da Nang has a lot of good co-working spaces, so that culture is pretty well intact here. If you're just roaming around and you're looking for new places to check out, I highly recommend Da Nang. You could easily spend a month or two here, and I don't think you would regret it. But Da Nang's also known for being a pretty active, health-conscious place. The whole beachfront area is just full of people working out, walking around, running in the morning and in the afternoon. So right around sunrise and sunset seem to be the popular times. It's kind of cool to get a feel for the rhythm of this city after you've been here for a little bit. There's that, and then around all of the parks, people are always playing volleyball, soccer, badminton. So it's just kind of cool to be immersed in a culture that's always active, always playing games, very playful people. Granted, I haven't been able to connect with them that well without being able to speak the language, but it's still been quite nice to just be surrounded by that kind of lifestyle. Guys, I just stopped at this really cool like art cafe coffee shop. I'll leave a link in the description, but Da Nang is just full of places like this. You just randomly pop into a little corner coffee shop, and then people will turn the fans on for you. They just roll down this canopy to keep it a little bit cooler. Looks like they've got a little artist workshop set up over there. I don't know anything about it, but it's very neat. Had some steady rain for the past 4 days. This is the first real day the sun's peaked out in quite a while, so that's kind of cool, but remembering that it does get hot here still. Guys, most of you probably know that Vietnam is a developing country, but I would say that Da Nang is highly under construction. There's construction sites throughout the city. Most of the apartments you go and look at will be some kind of loud noise for construction. They're building, developing the whole city. And the apartment complex I live in, every morning at around 8 a.m. it's like clockwork, jackhammer starts going. So that's just something to be aware of, but very hardworking people. It's time to get a water. A pretty cool old motorbike. Retro. So I'm just walking around waiting for my hotel to let me check in. So it's 1 p.m. They told me around 1 or 2 they're gonna text me. But for now, I'm just walking around the neighborhood. A lot more construction going on over here. It's funny, it's 90 degrees out right now and it doesn't feel that hot, but I've seen 60-year-old men and women getting after it on those construction sites when it's like 100, 110, so they don't make excuses around here. It's hot. It's hot out here, Southeast Asia. It doesn't matter what time of the year, you're gonna sweat. This is how you cross the street in Vietnam. And the horns aren't they're not a rude thing here. They're just part of the culture. And this is your walking area, parallels the beach. You'll see people here at all times of the day, but it's more popular, like I said, at sunset, sunrise. This whole area will be pretty crowded. Come here for your drinks and snacks. And then you got the beach right here. They've got a couple workout stations too. You can go get your pump on. And within the last month or so, they've planted a lot of these flowers and brought in these sculptures. So between the time that I moved here and now, they've really given this place a little facelift. So you can tell they're trying to make an effort to keep it clean and bring in some decoration. So all this is new. All of these sculptures and yard ornaments, flowers. You got little open air restaurants like this everywhere. You can stop in and get a beer for $1.50. Mian Beach. My pronunciation is dog shit, by the way, so I'm not trying to pretend anything otherwise, but I acknowledge it. Beach volleyball here every night. Another thing I'll say that kind of sticks out to me as a Western living over here is that there isn't really a barrier between the kid world and the adult world. So most public places that you go to, restaurants, beaches, parks, pretty much anywhere, you can expect there to be families with several kids running around. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, I'm just saying that for your information, that there will be instances where you go out, not at any of the nightclubs or the bars, but at most public places, there's gonna be some wild, unsupervised kids running around, jumping around, yelling. That's just FYI, but the positives far outweigh the negatives in this city, in my opinion. I think that many people of a similar circumstance as me could make a long-term life for themselves here and be totally happy, especially if you have sustainable remote income. I think this is a good spot. But yeah, if you are planning a move to this area, Southeast Asia, I would recommend visiting Da Nang. Don't just jump right into it. If you have the opportunity to come and visit, check it out, see how you feel. But I think as more and more people realize the opportunities that they have with sustainable remote income, there will be more people moving to places like this. And I think that Da Nang and other parts of Southeast Asia are already preparing for that. People that have grown disenchanted with the West and the cost of living and inflation and all of that will be trying out new lives for themselves here, especially when they have all of the amenities that they would have had back home. I mean, there are some inconveniences for sure, but generally the people are more open, more friendly, more accepting. The culture is one that is more social. So when you go out of your hotel or you go out of your apartment at night, you will see people just congregated on the street. There's big open markets and street stands, coffee shops. Everyone is hanging out seemingly at all hours of the day. So just being around that, even if you can't communicate with them, it's contagious. So you start to feel a little more accepted, just being not so closed up in your normal boxes and isolated. I know that myself and many of my friends have struggled with that in the West. You get locked into a job and all of your commitments, and it just tends to grind on you. But here it feels like you got a little bit more reprieve, a better work-life balance. And I think that's appealing to a lot more people. And the more I travel to places like this, the more I meet people of a similar mindset. It's just kind of validating. But yeah, I think that Da Nang is a great place to come, try it out. Again, if you haven't been to Asia, I don't know that I would recommend this as your first trip. I would suggest a more beginner-friendly city/country before coming to Vietnam. Come with a good attitude, come with the mindset that you want to benefit the local people, and everything will be just fine. But speaking from my perspective as a remote working professional person, I've been able to maintain a pretty good work-life balance here in Da Nang. I feel like it's not the type of city or town where you're just constantly inundated with distraction. I've been able to kind of keep my head down for days and even weeks at a time, and then pick and choose my spots when I want to go out and socialize. There seems to be something going on that I'm interested in every night of the week. I'm pretty involved on Facebook groups, so meeting up to play basketball or go to board games. I've even connected with some people through playing chess here, and all of that is available. So I think it's a good little place to try out if you're on the fence. Not a whole lot to lose. I was paying $400 a month for a nicer apartment than I needed. I think you could get by on a much smaller budget. But yeah, I've had a pretty positive experience, and I've been able to improve myself in these 2 months, just staying focused, and also meeting some really cool people along the way. So for what that's worth, I just want to share my experience. Hey guys, Swing Master Jay.